I am Roth. This is my world, and welcome to it. For this edition, you might be noticing that I have a small throat issue happening. Apparently in the universe, it's not enough that we go from 80 degrees in Ohio to 30 degrees the next week with rain, that the universe felt it necessary to smite me with a germ in my throat, thus the frog-like voice you will hear throughout the segment. Now, just a quick update. For those of you who saw my last segment and were questioning, will she use the glitter nail polish? The answer is no, not yet. But I did try purple, and I really think it adds a lot. Don't you? Now, this week in our news segment, I like to call this the post-Halloween Lollapalooza. Halloween this year occurred on a Wednesday, what I like to call Hostel Wednesday. All Wednesdays are hostile indeed. They are the middle of the week. The schedule at the high school is shortened and confusing, and even though we eat lunch earlier, it makes people more angry and more hungry. I cannot explain why. It's just simply Hostel Wednesday. Halloween occurred on this Hostel Wednesday and was particularly hostile this year. It was cold. It was damp. It was spitting, spewing, rain-like particles towards my head, which I did not enjoy having to take my small children out trick-or-treating. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the small children. I just don't enjoy it in the rain. Now, this week, I would like to talk about things that you could have passed out instead of Halloween candy. The first thing that we could have passed out, umbrella, a mini umbrella. Why? Because it was raining. It really would have made a difference in the lives of some young children trick-or-treating last night. Imagine how much longer they could have stayed out if they had had a mini umbrella. 2, a frozen turkey. I know what you're thinking. A frozen turkey? That's right, a frozen turkey. It doesn't have to be a giant butterball, mind you. It can be a small sampling of a turkey. But let's think about this. Pass out a frozen turkey, feed the children, you're solving world hunger. That would be one benefit of the frozen turkey. 2, feed the world, avoid Hostel Wednesday. People are less hostile when they're not hungry. 3, it would solve the obesity epidemic around here and in the world. Think about this. Kids, you would be whipping yourselves into shape carrying around that frozen turkey. Imagine if 4 or 5 houses passed out frozen turkeys. You're getting your workout done while you're trick-or-treating. What a benefit. Whip those kiddies into shape. 3, it would teach the children of the world to plan ahead. Think about the next holiday. Be proactive. Be prepared. Be ready with your frozen turkey. Other things that you could have passed out. A mini flashlight. Perhaps a flotation device. Imagine this. Your child trots up to the door. The trick-or-treater knocks. Ding dong, trick or treat, here's your flotation device. You're saving the child down the road in imminent danger in the rushing rapids. They have a flotation device, they're ready to go. Now, other things that you could have passed out. A gel pen. Who doesn't need one? It doesn't matter the color. Gel pens write smoothly. The last thing I'd like to mention is you could have passed out some Abraham Lincoln memorabilia. This is Abraham Lincoln. He's a great president. Pass out some of his memorabilia. Teach history at the same time. It's trick-or-treating, but it doesn't just have to be about the candy. Now I would like to go on to my feature. I have 2 stories of things regarding the post-Halloween Lollapalooza that I would like to feature in on. 1, adults wearing childlike costumes. I'm not sure who thought it was a brilliant plan to have adults dress as Elmo or Cookie Monster, but quite honestly, I feel like it's a trend that is increasing. Last night when I was out trick-or-treating with the children, I saw 5, count them, 5 giant Elmos. This is confusing to children. They are taught that Elmo is small and furry and lovable. He is not a life-size gigantor that is coming down the road ready to attack with the bubbly nose and the fur. I just don't think it's right. And quite honestly, the Cookie Monster costume that I saw had a giant cookie attached to its belly. I don't think that sends the kind of message to kids that we want to be sending. Again, give them a frozen turkey. And let me tell you, an Elmo costume and the Cookie Monster costume and a life-size adult not doing anything to help out Hostel Wednesday. Not to mention the adults who are wearing these zip-up footed pajamas. You're not a giant baby. There is no irony in you wearing it. It's just disturbing. Now, my second feature involves children who steal candy. Last night I had to go out trick-or-treating with my children and leave a bowl of candy on the front porch with a lovely Halloween sign that I had decorated with orange marker that said, "Happy Halloween, please take one." It didn't say 12 or 14 or 64 or dump the bowl. I understand that there are some of you out there that are like, well, if the woman had to leave the bowl on the front porch, I'm entitled. No, you're not. I had not left my sidewalk when a young child, a girl, mind you, in a semi-costume, and by semi, I mean she was wearing a tiara, yet nothing else. That's not a costume. Comes up to the candy bowl, takes it in her grubby paws, dumps the whole thing into her bag. I'm not kidding you, 60, maybe 70 pieces of candy. She's 8. Okay? I say to her, "Child, this is my home. This candy is for the other children. You just took all of it. Put that back. You're 8. Do you really need to be an outlaw? I don't think so." Finally today, I'd like to wrap up. By the way, you could applaud for that story. I'm standing up for social justice. Applause now, please. Finally today, I'd like to wrap up with Roth thoughts. I've been asked to discuss candy corn today. Now, I know that you're all familiar with its gummy-like consistency and its odd smell that is candy, yet vegetable because it's corn and it's candied. It's very confusing. It's all very wrong, but all very right, and let me tell you why. Think about this. When you eat that piece of candy corn, for those of you that enjoy the gummy experience, because I don't, but it gets stuck in those back molars of your teeth, and not just stuck, mind you, it gets ground, dug in there. You've got to saw with that toothbrush to get it out. And let's face it, on Halloween night, kiddies are tired. They're not sawing with a toothbrush. They're giving it the quick once over, and they're done. So what's happening if we're all passing out the candy corn? Okay, if you decide not to pass out the frozen turkey, I understand. But if we all get on the common page and we all pass out that candy corn, what are we going to do, folks? We're going to save the economy. Why? Because dentists will have jobs. There will be more dentists in the world because of candy corn. What does that mean? That means more money in the economy. I'm really not sure any of this is economical logic, but in my head, it makes sense. Folks, this is the end of our segment for this week, and quite honestly, I don't have much more voice left. So what I'd like to remind you is, think frozen turkeys, avoid Hostel Wednesday, and go out there and seek the joy of life. I'm Roth, this is my world, and welcome to it.